Well, hey friends and neighbors, it's Chuck out at Sheridan Park Farms. Welcome back to the farm. So when we set out to do a video, sometimes I have an idea of what I want that video to be. And then during the day, while we're filming, something happens that kind of changes the direction of what that video ends up being. Long story short, today's video was supposed to be about tractors, and it is. We got some tractor work we're gonna do, but we also had an incident with a cow, and we're gonna share that with you. So hang around with us for a little bit, and let's talk to you about what happened with the cow. We'll show some tractor work, and just get some stuff done here on the farm. Hang out for a little bit. So another thing we'll have to do using the tractor on the farm from time to time is move some of the larger deceased animals. And we had to do that this morning, and I'm not showing that on YouTube. Y'all remember we had that cow that came off the hill over here a couple weeks ago. We found her out in the field on Sunday morning, had a bad left rear leg. We put her in the corral for a while, never got any better. The herd came down, we put her back in with the herd, never got any better. We finally elected to have her processed. Now, we chose a local company to come out to the farm and do the on-farm processing. And actually what they do is they do the dispatch, and then they skin and they eviscerate, and then they'll take it back to their butcher shop to process it and fabricate it. And so the reason that we elected to do that and not take it to our usual processor is the processor that we normally use is a USDA inspected facility. And one of their rules is if the animal can't get off of the trailer under its own power, they will condemn the animal, destroy the animal, and then you don't get anything out of it. You lose the animal. So to put that animal on a trailer and drive her for 2 hours, hour and 45 minutes, we were just afraid that we would get there, she would end up being condemned, and then we would just lose any kind of meat off of her. So it's going to be done here locally. I think it will be marked not for sale because it's not I'm not sure. I think it ends up being marked not for sale. So that's not something that we can sell retail to our customers. So I think probably what we'll end up doing, I hope none of the families watching this, but we will probably end up giving some of that away as Christmas gifts later on this year. Nothing wrong with the meat. I mean, she's going to be fine as far as that goes. We just can't take her and have her processed and then sell her across the tables like we normally do at our farmers markets. But that's something else that we do use the tractor for around here, is to move deceased animals. We had a pig that died end of the week last week, first of this week. It was a pretty good sized pig, and we had to move it with the tractor, bury it, and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, we don't show that kind of stuff because YouTube gets kind of touchy about it. So anyway, that's just something else we use the tractor for. So we're going to mow in front of all of our tractors. We got our turkeys and our meat chickens, and we got one little batch of egg birds out here. We're going to mow in front of these tractors, and we're in the summer and grass is not growing super fast right now. It's growing okay, but the problem that we run into is, see, we got this huge clump right in front of the tractor. That makes it really, really hard to move them. And so we're just going to come in here, kind of clean up and trim all in front of these guys so that it just makes daily moves a little bit easier. All right, that worked out pretty good. You know, I can only get so close to these tractors with that big bush hog, but you can get pretty close. I mean, if you sort of watch what you're doing, take your time, and go slow with them. I think where folks make a lot of mistakes is they try to run their tractor and their bush hog wide open, and you end up, it ends up making a mess. So if you go slow, you can see, you can get, I mean, man, you can get real close. Part of the problem was I didn't want to get too close to my ropes. I don't think they would have fared very well. But this is an 7 or 8 foot bush hog, and the blades on this thing have so much mass and density and weight to them whenever they're moving that, you know, a lot of folks will run their PTOs at, I think it's 540. You can run this PTO at about any speed. You got to get a little speed behind it, but you know, it's just got so much mass that it just plows right through it. We sped it up a little bit just to make it a little quicker, and it makes a little nicer cut if you cut a little faster too. So anyway, turns out nice. It's gonna make moving these chickens a whole lot easier. Sandra just came down. The guys, so they've got her dispatched and skinned,
and she's on the truck they're getting ready to leave with her.
Okay, and so you saw her leg. What ended up being wrong with that leg?
So it was in her hock. So the hock comes together like a knee joint, and she had broke one of the surfaces here inside the joint space. So that's why she wasn't getting any better.
So she wasn't going to get any better.
She wasn't going to get any better. But I was afraid it was her femur or her hip or something.
And then all
of that's good, and we would have lost that whole leg.
Right.
But all of that's good, so we're not going to lose any meat off this girl.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Doesn't get any better than that.
No.
Well, so now, these guys are not federally inspected. I was talking about this a minute ago. Are they state inspected, or how's that? How does that deal work?
This is called custom exempt.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what does that? That means that it's marked not for sale.
That's right.
Yeah. So we can give it away,
but we can't sell.
But we can't sell it.
Right.
And
I would say that those guys have an inspection, but they offer custom exempt for stuff like this.
So the guy that done the dispatching, Tyler,
yeah,
he was telling me that they had bought an old, it was the name of another company, but it was a processing plant, and that they were going to be state inspected.
Okay, yeah, they can do that. They can do state inspection.
And so then if it's state inspected, then we potentially could sell that.
No, because it was slaughtered.
No, but I mean, if they had done it at a state inspected.
State inspected, yeah. You could sell it in the state, but you couldn't take it across state line.
Or ship it.
Right.
Yeah, okay, all right, good deal. So now, did you have to do a cut sheet on her?
I asked him, he said to call the plant.
Okay, yeah. So this is not like we do with Piedmont where you have to call the plant.
There they are, they're leading it.
Oh yeah, there they go.
On the back of that trailer, wrapped up in plastic.
Wrapped up in plastic. Man, that was quick. How long have they been here? Like
30 minutes, an hour?
They've been here for maybe an hour. That'd be
hour.
Stretching it, maybe an hour. All right, well, hated to lose.
Mongo is tore up.
Yeah, Mongo's pretty. They come down to the barn. They were doing it on the outside of the barn on the far side. And Mongo and the rest of them came down there, and they were not happy at all.
Like that at all.
Yeah, well, hated to do it, but you know, like I said, I don't think we could have got her on the trailer, took her to Piedmont. I think we would have got there and she would have been condemned, don't you?
If she can walk in under her own power to the knock box, then she's good. And then the inspector, after they kill it, the inspector will look at it. And then after they skin it, the inspector will look at it again.
Yeah.
And then they'll decide if it's condemned or not. But that one would have been fine.
She would have been okay.
She would have been fine.
That's crazy. Alright, so another thing that we use the tractor for is this right here, and that's moving bulk amounts of feed at a time. We've got this bulk feeder over here. It will hold it actually will hold a ton of feed. I don't bring those big totes up here because the problem is, we've done it. You've got to get it way above, you got to get a lot of height to get that tote above the opening on this bulk feeder. So we use these, we've showed them in the past, we just use these hopper bottom feeders and bring the feed up here. It will hold about, when I've unloaded layer pellet in this thing, it'll hold about 750, 800 pounds, give or take a little bit. So there's probably 700 pounds in here. So let's get this. I'll park the camera right here on top of this, on top of the forks, point down in there, and y'all can see the feed roll out of the hopper bottom box into this feeder. You can see how it works. Got a little door right here. I'm not gonna do it now. We unlock this, pull the handle, just pull this, just got a slide bottom in it, pull that out. The bottom of this thing is fluted, and so feed just rolls right out. So that worked out real good. These girls are kind of hungry. This thing had gone empty. I fed them a bucket yesterday, but it had gotten empty. We've still got about 3. There's one. We've still got about 3 piglets up here that we never got pulled off of these moms. And they're kind of wise to our game. Really not super worried about it, except for that one. And you can see exactly why I'm worried about it. He's got a full wallet. We need to get him caught and get that taken care of before he gets any bigger. He's going to be a handful now. But mamas are eating. Everybody's in good shape here. We've not rebred. Thinking about probably rebreeding somewhere getting close to right after Christmas. We could do it now. We'd be looking at an October, November farrowing. Well, fussy this morning. October to November farrowing, and that would probably be okay. But yeah, we got some decisions to make on pigs. So if we're gonna breed, we'll probably wait till around Christmas time. New hauling today. We've done all the big heavy jobs and the mowing that we're going to do. Now let's use the Coyote. Got a new implement. The new hauling would probably work for this, but I don't have anything on the rear, and I don't feel like taking the mower off because I'll just have to put it back on probably tomorrow or the next day, because Jamie from Seven Sands will be coming to get feed. So let's go take a look at the implement. We'll show you what we're going to do and show you a little project we're going to undertake. A little home improvement, little farm improvement project here. All right, so here's our new implement. This is a Befco 6 feet land plane. We've got about, we probably got about a quarter mile. Actually, the house is about a half mile off the road, but we've probably got a quarter mile worth of driveway back here on our place. And some of it is asphalt millings, some of it is just gravel. And the gravel in a couple places is really we're kind of getting ruts, and you know, the gravel's kind of sinking down so that we're just getting the fines coming to the top. We're having some drainage issues. And I've been looking for one of these land planes for a while. Found one on Marketplace. Folks had bought it, used it a couple times, and then they ended up, I think they paved their driveway or whatever and just didn't need it any longer. So got a real good deal in it. So up through here, this driveway here, I don't know what else shows up on camera, but we've got two very distinctive tire ruts on each side. So we're going to try to fix that, bring some of the gravel up to the top, smooth it out, get us a nice little ridge in the middle so that we're shedding water into the drain, into the ditch line on the right hand side, and then back down into the field on the left hand side. So let's see if we can get this thing hooked up to the coyote. Should pull it fine. I don't expect any problems, but never used one of these. First time. We'll have to play with it a little bit and see how it's going to work. So yeah, this is a Befco, B-E-F-C-O. Looked them up. These things are kind of pricey. That's why I say I got a real good buy in it. Very happy with what we got. The BGS 072, 72 inches, 2 cutter blades. I'm just not very good with a box blade. You got to be able to, if you're going to pull material, then you got to be able to feather that thing so that you're leaving material in the back. This will fill in ruts and fill in holes and bring your gravel up to the surface. A lot of folks say, if you think you need gravel, get you a land plane and go over your driveway before you buy gravel. The gravel's all still there, it's just kind of sunk down. So that's what we're gonna go for here, and see if this doesn't work for us. This thing does a nice job, and really it does pull the gravel up to the top and gives a nice smooth surface. I'm running gravel out of the edges, so I think I need to stop. I've been running it with the rippers down. I think I need to stop that, but running into a little problem. Got a little bit of too much of a load behind it. We were in low gear and it started getting hot, so I shut the tractor down. I think probably that would be better behind the New Holland, something a little bit bigger. This Coyote does fine, and maybe I've got the settings wrong. Maybe I've got this too low. I don't have the top link at the right angle. Probably need to pull the rippers up. But you can see we gathered up a big load of material behind this, and I don't think that's good. So like I say, got the tractor hot, so I shut it down. We're gonna let it cool, and then I'll lift this up, we'll thin this out and spread it, and get it out of the way. Still got a couple of sections of driveway to go back out towards the house, but it's probably gonna do it for tonight. So hey lordy, got her hot, man. I ain't gone. All right, there it is. Got a lot of tractor work done today, and as you can see, we used the New Holland and that Cody for a lot of different things. A little disappointed that Cody got kind of hot. We were able to get it moved, but yeah, I'm not sure why that thing's overheating. But anyway, we'll talk a little bit about this cow and sort of what happened with the cow, because I've got a feeling there's probably going to be some hate and discontent down in the comments, and that's perfectly fine. When that cow was initially injured, we elected not to go ahead and process it because we wanted to give it a chance to get better and see if it would improve. And we also elected not to call a vet because that can be really expensive, and when you start factoring in vet costs and animal costs and some of those kinds of things, you have to be a little bit judicious on where you're spending that money, because you don't want to put and I don't mean this, it is what it is, you don't want to put a $600 vet bill into a $500 cow. And what that cow or that animal may be worth processed and decreasing your profits and that kind of thing. So there's a fine line that you have to walk, and you have to really think about those kinds of things whenever you're deciding how to manage an animal or how to manage what's going on with an animal. So again, we elected not to call a vet or have a vet come and look at that animal. We thought, you know, she'll get better on her own. If she doesn't, we'll do exactly what we done today. So I think we gave her the benefit of the doubt. Probably should have and could have processed her a little bit earlier, and gotten maybe more product out of her. We don't know what we don't know how much product we're going to get. We won't know that till we get her back from the butcher. But you know, could we have done something to ease that animal's suffering earlier? And I think that probably is where we could have made a better decision and taken care of her a little bit sooner. But again, we wanted to give her every benefit of the doubt and try to give her a chance to get better and to do better. And so, you know, that's one of the things about farming. Sometimes you have to make tough decisions, and sometimes you have to make decisions that just don't, you know, you don't want to have to make. But for the betterment of the farm and the betterment of the operation, sometimes you just have to do that. So that's one of the things that we had to do there. So anyway, I think that's going to do it. Like we always say, please keep us in your prayers. May God bless you and your families. And we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.